and welcome to the Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, J Pops.
They complain about that.
Oh, wow, really?
I don't know why, because that traffic brought
business.
hundreds of people to their mall.
And I know it did.
And welcome back to the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, J Pops. Guys, today's date is December 14th, 2020 in this great, beautiful city of Houston, Texas. Guys, we got a lot to get to. We have a lot to get to with not a lot of time to get to it. All right? Man, I'm talking about the Gus Bus has finally left the building and is not coming back. They're not coming back. Florida lost to LSU. They're a 2-loss team now, but they're still the SEC East champion. They're not going to playoffs. Any Florida Gator fans out there, if you're listening, guys, you're not going to playoffs, all right? Even if you were to become the SEC champions, you're not going to go to the playoffs, guys. But once again, I told you guys that you guys were playing with fire, and the fire ultimately came back and burned you. It burned you. Anywho, guys, I feel good. It's cold as hell down here in the city of Houston, and if you guys are from here, and if you guys stay here, then you guys know just what I'm talking about, okay? It is cold as hell here. I think right now it's about 40, about like 43, 41. I know for sure it's not 50, but that is why you see me out here with a hoodie. But guys, it's a beautiful day. I feel good. You guys should feel good. To the Texas A&M fans out there, and to the fans that comes on this podcast, I love you guys, man. I love how the way you guys share the feedback. I love how the way you guys comment. Continue to do that. To the guys that's coming from all other teams, also in all other conferences, I love how you guys come on here and support me, because you guys just want to hear something different. I love it. I love it. I love it. I cannot thank you guys enough. Another thing. I want to give a huge thank you to Mr. Morris Carter. Mr. Morris Carter, if you're listening, he actually gave me this helmet, of course, and I had a pleasure of meeting up with these two gentlemen, him and Mr. Olin Buchanan of Tex Ags Radio. Yes, guys, I went out there to College Station. It was freaking beautiful, lovely. To all the commits. You're committing there. That campus is freaking awesome, and I see why you guys are committing. Please forgive me. I hadn't been to that campus ever. My first time ever, believe it or not. I have a lot of guys that come over here and ask me, what year did you graduate? Hey, are you going to A&M, stuff like that? No. I'm just a huge football fan. Stay in the great state of Texas. Now, if I had my choice back then, if I would have made better decisions, I would have went to Texas, and if I would have got offered. But I didn't, so it is what it is. To all the ones that's going there, I commend you guys, okay? All right? Anywho, another thing. Kevin Sumlin out at Arizona, people. He's not there anymore. He's not there. I think they showed the record, and I didn't even know this. He was 9-20. I have no clue what's going on with Kevin Sumlin, nor do I have any clue of how he went down that far. That guy started off well, brilliant. In my honest opinion, I think he just started off too fast, and there was a lot of people that just wanted a lot out of him. But he just wasn't that type of coach. He wasn't. So, I mean, man, anywho, but a huge shout out to those guys. Once again, Mr. Morris Carter and Mr. Olin Buchanan. I had a pleasure of meeting with those guys. Those guys are real close friends. But Mr. Olin, if you're listening, and I'm starting to see that you're starting to share, the podcast, things like that. I just want to thank you, and I also want to thank those guys at Tex Ags Radio. Yeah, I wasn't able to meet up with all of you guys, but I know Mr. Olin has passed my podcast off to you guys and let you guys listen. I just want to thank you guys for hearing me out and listening. Anywho, guys, man, we got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about in this episode. And of course, we're getting closer to the Tennessee game. If you guys are listening out there, the Tennessee game will be on this Saturday, 11 o'clock, Neyland Stadium. That weather down there will be perfect for this Texas A&M football team, but it'll also be perfect for Tennessee. So we're not overlooking Tennessee by all means, but the weather down there will be about 50 to 52 degrees come kickoff time, I believe, or maybe a little bit below 50. But it should be perfect football weather for those guys to go down there and create a rhythm, things like that. All right, so please, guys, hit that subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. Also, please don't forget to tell a friend or tell another friend. Let's make this podcast continue to go viral. I thank you guys for all the love and support that you guys give me. And if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here making all of these podcasts, to be honest with you. So I do it for you guys as well as I have passion in doing this, okay? I love you guys, man. Anywho, let's keep on going, all right? So, guys, I want to share something with you all really, really quickly, because I feel like this young man doesn't get the credit that he deserves. All right. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna hit that mute button and but I want you guys to hear me out. You guys are fans of the show, and if you guys aren't fans of the show, you're listening for the first time, just hear me out, okay? Kellen Mond. This guy has taken the most criticism as an A&M quarterback than I can ever remember, because of how the way he plays sometimes. And that's fair to say. That's fair to say. It's fair to say the least. But the thing that I'm getting at is this. The young man has a lot of courage and leadership. I know it's a lot of you guys that said, oh man, Kellen is lacking leadership. Well, let me tell you why I'm giving him an applause for his courage and leadership. Mond knew that by him standing up for social justice was going to get him looked at differently, okay? Differently everywhere, not just at Texas A&M. Also, not just at Texas A&M. Also, his whole stand on the Sully statue was going to get him looked at him differently also, okay? That comes with a ton of courage when you're trying to change something, no matter what it may be, all right? We're not going to get into that because this is a football podcast at the end of the day. This is not about politics, and this podcast is not about racial injustice. I was just giving you guys a little bit of something to think about, though. Just think about what I said, man. It takes somebody a whole lot of courage and leadership to do what he did, knowing what came with the consequences. All right. So, anywho, let me keep on going. I was just giving you one of the reasons, all right? Another reason is that you guys know that it is a love and hate relationship when it comes to him being the quarterback of this team. All right, now it's 80% love and 20% not so much, and that's fair to say. That's only because of how the way he plays, which drives everybody crazy from time to time. If you're an A&M fan, you guys know what I'm talking about. Even if you aren't a fan of this team, you've seen them play, you be like, man, why does he play like that? That is what I'm talking about, all right? But what he was able to do this season was just block out the noise and believe in himself, in his team, and also his head coach, in which this young man, listen to me now, in which this young man has led us with a 7-1 record. All right, and don't get it twisted. We're not overlooking Tennessee by all means. All right, we're not overlooking them by all means, like another team just did their opponent. Anywho, let's keep going. But this young man has led this team to not only a winning record with one loss, but also a potential playoff berth. All right, for the first time ever in program history. There's a lot of guys going to come on here and say, oh, man, you need to cut this out already. You need to cut that out. You guys know that I'm right. Y'all know that I'm right. You guys know that I'm right. I know a lot of you guys are gonna disagree with it. But you guys know that I'm right at the end of the day, all right? That, my friend, is what you call leadership. All right? That's what you call leadership. He never gave up on the fan base. He never gave up on his A&M fan base. He never gave up on. Even when a lot of them wanted to kind of just shut him out because of the things that he was doing and how the way he played. You know? So you can't be mad at that. That's why I didn't argue with everybody about that, because I'm like, all right, well, it's a 50-50. I'll feel you on one side and I'll feel you on the other side. All right? It's agree and a disagree. All right? But he never gave up on the fan base, man. He never gave up on the fan base, nor the team, nor his coach. And this is why I'm so in love with what's going on right now with this culture that is being created. I'm in love with that culture that is being created at the moment, okay? That culture is going to be around for a long, long time, people. And this is what I've been talking about so far as reaching something different. And also credit to Jimbo Fisher. Credit to Jimbo Fisher for blocking out the noise as well. All right. And also stand behind his quarterback and his team. He stayed behind him and his team, but was also willing to change up things offensively to better suit his players going forward. And you know what, I'm talking about the skill players. Everything. A lot of people mad because we don't have the wide receivers that's just breaking out right now. Mainly because our wide receivers aren't in depth with their route running. We know this. So what has Jimbo Fisher done? He's used a balanced offense to fit everybody's skill set. Okay, you don't know your routes all the way yet. That's okay. That's fine. We're going to do something else. We're going to balance it out. Things of that nature. I know Dylan Wright transferred out. And that's just one of the wide receivers. No, I'm sorry. Dylan Wright, he's in a transfer portal. Dylan Wright, if you're listening, young man, come on back. Come on back. Be a part of something that's getting built. Just wait your turn, young man. Wait your turn. Because I can guarantee you, if you go to Alabama, or, you know, I'm going to just use Alabama. Go to Alabama. Alabama has a stable of every position, but those guys patiently wait their turn and learn. That's why when those guys get on the field, they're so dynamic. They learn. It's 3 years of learning, man. And they get out there and they are breakout stars. I want you guys to keep that in mind if you listen, all right? So what I'm saying is this. Those kids are happy with the head coach and also happy about what they are continuing to build for the future Aggies after them, which is winning at a high level. It's a lot of people are going to laugh at that too. Understand this, Aggie fans. There's a lot of people that's going to laugh at us and kind of just want to shut us out in the cold because we're closer than ever. There's a lot of people that want to blame the COVID-19 for having the season that they have. All right, so we can't continue to blame COVID-19 for losing seasons that these teams are having. Why? Because Alabama is 10-0, Clemson is 9-1, Notre Dame is 10-0. Ohio State ain't played that many games, but they're still undefeated. Oklahoma is 7-2. Iowa State is 7-2. I'm just naming out some top teams. Cincinnati is 8-0. You know, so it ain't any of those guys blaming COVID. Florida Gators as well. Those guys are 7-2 up there, man. And in any of those guys blaming COVID for how the way they're playing. All right, so we cannot do that. We cannot continue to say that for each and every losing team because you guys want them to win. You guys can't continue to do that. Oh, well, we want them to win. Y'all ain't supposed to be winning. They supposed to be winning. We can't continue to do that. Another one, Georgia. Georgia ain't complaining. Hell, they're 7-2 right now, or 6-2. No, 8-2, I believe, or something like that. They aren't complaining. We are complaining, man. We just got our stuff together, came out there on the field, and bought in. Those kids just bought in. So you guys have to stop that already. I'm tired of hearing it. I understand you might not have enough scholarship players, but LSU had something different to say about that. Just last Saturday, they didn't have enough scholarship players, and they played damn near a full team. I'm just saying, you know. Anywho, let's keep going. COVID year or not, this team stuck around, played to everything, and now look at them. Now look at them. They're the number 5 team because it all paid off. They believed in what they were hearing, and it all paid off. That's why I say anybody that's in that transfer portal for Texas A&M, man, come on back. Come on back, young man. Be a part of something special, okay? Be a part of it. This is phenomenal on what these guys are doing, and this is from myself and also the Aggie fan base. We just want to say thank you. All right, we just want to say thank you. All right, so let's get past that. All right, like I was saying before, as of right now, Kevin Sumlin has been let go at Arizona. Lovie Smith has been let go at Illinois. Meanwhile, Clay Helton and Tom Herman both still have a job. Also, Gus has been let go, as we've all seen too. Meanwhile, these guys, Clay Helton and Tom Herman, still have a job, people. They still got one. Crazy stuff, but hey, it is what it is. Also, Florida has gotten taken down by LSU. So you know what that means, everybody can. So you know what that means. Everybody can kill the talk about Florida is better than Texas A&M. All that I take Florida on neutral field any day to beat, and I don't want to hear it anymore. I do not want to hear it anymore. Kill that argument now. Kill that argument. Once again, we're not overlooking Tennessee, but you guys can for sure enough kill that argument now on who is the better team. All right? Kill it. Florida is better offensively. I will give them that. Throwing the ball, I will give them that. So far as when it comes to balance, we're the better team. That's why we were able to win that game. We were more balanced. All right? So kill that nonsense. Kill it already. Anywho, let's keep going. I'm going to leave it at that. See, I told you so. You played with fire and you got burned. Anywho, Bush Jones, people. Bush Jones has now officially became a head coach again at Arkansas State. Crazy news, right? Crazy as hell, isn't it? I don't know what he's going to do at Arkansas State, but Bush Jones is a head coach again. All right? Anywho, let's get right off into it. So on yesterday, strong defensive end Shamar Turner. No, not yesterday. I'm sorry. So on Saturday, strong defensive end Shamar Turner, who's a 5-star recruit committed to Texas A&M University. This, ladies and gentlemen, was a huge commitment because most of the recruiting trail, he was a heavy Alabama lean. All right? Please go and watch some film on this young man if you haven't already. And I'm going to leave it at that. Also, offensive lineman Remington Strickland. Please watch film on him as well. Okay? As you all know, I actually took a trip to College Station, all right, over the weekend. First off, College Station is a beautiful town. Now, of course, it was my first ever time being there, and I must say I was highly, highly impressed, just like I was speaking of. The town has been rebuilt as well as the Texas A&M University campus. All right, I mean, it looked like a mini Houston. Because everything was updated. I never knew that the stadium was right in the middle of the campus, in which if you're the visiting team, kind of tells you that, hey, you're in our territory. You're inside of the pool pit. All right? You're inside of it. The stadium is huge, as well as the basketball stadium and the track and field, the baseball stadium, and much more. Unfortunately, it was raining, so I couldn't just really get a look at everything. But I love it, and now I can see, just like I said at the beginning of the show, now I can see why these kids are committing to the school, because not only are they committing to the football program, but they are committing to the town and the education that Texas A&M University provides. Okay? As of right now, the Texas A&M University alumni leads the way of having the most CEOs at a Fortune 500 company. That's just a fun fact for you guys if you all did not know that. That's a real fun fact for you guys if you guys did not know that. All right? That's just something to think about to anybody who didn't know, and as well as to the young kids that have committed and thinking about committing. All right. Also, the Alumni Association is huge, as well as the donors, in which myself, I don't need to tell you everything, but which is myself, We'll be joining in just a little bit. Okay? And make sure that I support not only the sports, but as well as the scholarships. You want to know why? Because I have kids as well. I want to support something that's going to go out to these kids and help these kids get out of the situations of where they're at for them to have a better future going forward. All right? All right. So anywho, I talked about that long enough now. So let's get into some SEC stats going to the Tennessee game. Let's talk about it, people. Let's get into some stats here, all right? These are the SEC stats as of right now. Texas A&M offense versus Tennessee defense. Offensive total yards, Texas A&M is number 4 with 429.8 yards a game. Tennessee on total defense is number 7 with 397.4 yards a game. All right, points allowed, Tennessee is number 8 with 29 a game. Texas A&M in passing yards is number 9 with 228.5 yards a game. Texas A&M in wide receiver receptions is 13th with only 148 on the season and 19 touchdowns. Tennessee passing defense is 11th with 264.1 yards a game. Tennessee on sacks is number 7 with 20. Texas A&M in rushing yards is number 2 with 206.5 yards a game. Tennessee's rushing defense is number 5 with 133.3 yards a game. That, my friend, I will be looking for Isaiah Spiller and Devon Achane to have a stellar game against that Tennessee defense. Also, I'm actually watching some film on Tennessee versus the Vanderbilt, and in that game alone, now of course the score was like 42-21, I believe, or something like that, or 45-21, something like that. Please keep in mind that Vanderbilt only had 18 scholarship players. 18. Once again, there's no excuse. But they only had 18 to Tennessee's, I don't know how many, but it was a lot of those guys out there. So, but as I'm watching that Vanderbilt game, how the way Vanderbilt played Tennessee, and I'm only in the first half, but how the way they played those guys, though. Tennessee gave up a lot of big plays. They gave up a lot of big plays. A lot of big plays. The running back for Tennessee, though, which is great, and it's another running back for those guys, too. Those two guys, I'm going to tell you right now. If Texas A&M shuts those two guys down and make Harrison Bailey or the other little freshman, or hell, even Jared Garantano, just throw the ball all game, I'm going to tell you right now, that game may just be a shutout. Tennessee doesn't scare me at all anywhere. They have a decent run game, but that offense just look confused. They look confused and they look like a deer in the headlights. I have no clue of what Jeremy Pruitt is doing, but Jeremy Pruitt himself is now starting to look confused. If you guys he's starting to look real confused. Once again, I'm not overlooking Tennessee by all means, but that team looks as confused as any team that I've seen in the SEC in a long time. All right. Anywho, guys, let's keep going on this. But expect Isaiah Spiller to have a big day. Also, a lot of you guys may not want to believe me, but expect Kellen Mond to have a huge day. He may not have 300 yards passing by all means, but expect him to have a huge day. All right, mark my words. Watermeyer expect him to have a huge day. And if the Mond Demons is starting, I know, man, we are tired of talking about the Mond Demons. When is he going to start? When is he going to come out here, Jimbo? Well, it might be this game. Because he was supposed to come out there last game, but we had to cancel it against Ole Miss. I can tell you right now, he may be out there in the Tennessee game, people. Just continue to watch. Just watch. Saturday can't get here fast enough. But then again, I'm not going to rush it. You know, I ain't going to rush it. We ain't going to take it too fast. But he should be out there in the Tennessee game. All right? Just stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's why I'm saying Kellen Mond should have a big day. Stay tuned. Let's keep going here. Texas A&M on first downs made is number 11 with 187. Texas A&M on third down percentage is number 2 behind none other than Alabama. They claimed that spot after the LSU game that we had. Bad game. Number 2 with 54.7%. Texas A&M on fourth down percentage is number 13 with 28.6%. We don't really attempt that many third downs, but when we do, we're pretty bad at it. That's okay. Tennessee offense. Now we're getting to the Tennessee offense against the wrecking crew. I'm stop saying Texas A&M defense from now on. We're going to refer to them as the wrecking crew. Now we're going to get to that offense against the wrecking crew. Tennessee on total offense is number 10 with 361 yards a game. Once again, Tennessee's total off. That's why I just said what I said. Tennessee on total offense is number 10 with 361 yards a game. Let's keep going. Texas A&M on total defense is number 2. The wrecking crew. The wrecking crew is number 2 with 329.5 yards a game. Points allowed, the wrecking crew is number 3 with 22 points a game. Tennessee fans, if you're listening, come on to the podcast. Come on out. Come on out. I ain't seen you guys all year, but now it's time to get you guys included. Come on over. Come on over. Come on and listen to me. I know y'all may not want to hear it, but your team is bad. Your team is bad offensively. All right? I just want to put that out there. Your team is bad offensively. I'm not telling you guys nothing that you don't know. All right? Going into this game, this might be a whole new Tennessee offense because it's going to be senior day for them. It's going to be senior day, but I can tell you one thing. Texas A&M is mad at the simple fact that they didn't have a senior day. We didn't get a chance to have the senior day. All right? So they're going to be a little bit pissed off. That's why I expect Texas A&M to kind of go out there pissed off. All right? Let's keep going here. Tennessee in passing yards is number 12 with 206.4 yards a game. Tennessee on wide receiver receptions is number 10 with 167 on the season and 12 touchdowns. A&M on passing defense, the wrecking crew on passing defense is number 3 with 228.8 yards a game. The wrecking crew on sacks is number 6. Tennessee in rushing yards is number 8 with 154.6 yards a game. The wrecking crew rushing defense is number 2 with 100.8 yards a game. We're number 2 behind the Georgia Bulldogs. And we're just talking about SEC stats here, okay? Tennessee on first downs is number 10 with 189. Tennessee on third downs is dead last in the conference with 30.4%. That is why I say that Tennessee offense is horrible. They are horrible. That it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It ain't nothing to sugarcoat about it. They are horrible. They are horrible. Tennessee on fourth down percentage is number 2 with 65.2%. And that's because they go for fourth downs like crazy. All right. So my score prediction for this game, and this is early. I'm giving you a score prediction early. As of right now, we're the favorite by like 14 points, I believe. We're a huge favorite against those guys. My score prediction for the game, and this is just me. I also want you guys to leave your score predictions also. This is just me. My score prediction for the game is 35-7, Texas A&M. The reason why I didn't give those guys 40 to 50 points is because we all know Jimbo Fisher by now. And if you guys watched that press conference, Jimbo Fisher said it himself. He said, man, what's the honor in running up the score? Like, what dignity does that serve when you run up the score like that? It doesn't make any sense to just continue to run up the score. That is how Jimbo Fisher thinks. Love that guy. Love how the way he coaches. Jimbo Fisher, if you're listening, we're going to have to meet up one day. And I know for sure that it's coming real, real soon. As soon as this podcast go viral, trust me, I will come and meet you face to face. All right? I will have a mask on. Just make sure that you have yours. But anywho, guys, this is the Homemade Podcast of Sports. Guys, I gave you everything. Please continue to hit that subscribe button. Also, please continue to tell a friend to tell another friend. Let's make this thing go viral. Also, a huge shout out to Joseph Fields, people. Yes, Joseph Fields That guy is the what is Joe's title at Texas A&M? I believe he does something that involves the athletes. He's he's some sort of counselor, I believe, for the athletes. So shout out to Joseph Fields, all the athletes. If you're listening, you guys know who I'm talking about. Shout out to Joseph Fields for looking at the show. Also, shout out to Brandon Jackson for being involved to the show. Yes, that's one of my close relatives. Shout out to him. He's putting me out there. Shout out to Rob. Yes, he's another one of my close relatives. These guys are putting me out there. Shout out to Mr. Morris Carter for, like I say, giving me an opportunity to meet him. He's an alumni, people. He's one of the Texas A&M alumni. Yes, he is. Shout out to Olin Buchanan once again at Texas Radio for giving me the opportunity to meet up with him as well, and for sharing my podcasts out there so people can listen to it. I thank you guys, man. Let's get this thing up to 1,000 subscribers so we can go live. That's all I want to do. I just want to go live. Let's go live, people. Let's go live, all right? Shout out to all the guys that's already subscribed. I'm at about 455, I believe, in a 4-month span. No, I didn't pay anybody to give me no subscribers, if you guys were wondering. No, I did not. But I thank you guys for just tuning in and just wanting some Texas A&M content. But now it's time to make this thing go viral, man. Let's put it out there. Text Ags, they're already out there giving you guys some content. They're real big. Everybody all over Texas knows about these guys and things of that nature. But it's time to put out a second one, And I'm all about football. Text Ags covers everything Texas A&M, okay? All sports. They cover everything. Me, I just cover football, and that's it, okay? So let's make this thing go viral, guys. Let's make it go viral. I thank you guys once again, but continue to tell a friend and hit that subscribe button. I love you guys. Once again, it's the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, J Pops. The show is being sponsored by Dalton and Styles and also King Beard Grooming Company. Thank you guys once again. #Eagle Madness.
And thank you guys for tuning in to the #Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, guys, subscribe to the YouTube page and also follow me on Twitter at JPops, on Instagram at JPops, and also on Facebook at #Homemade Podcast Sports. Thank you guys once again. #Eagle Madness.